So let's look at the rules for rounding sig figs. It's really similar to normal rounding rules, except you'll be rounding to a specific number of sig figs instead of a certain placeholder, like to 1 decimal point or something like that. It'll be to a certain number of sig figs. All you're going to do is cut the value off after the number of sig figs you want. Then you're going to look to the next digit. If it's less than 5, you don't round up, and if it's more than 5, you round up. But if it's exactly 5, you're going to only round up if there are any non-zero digits after the 5, and don't round up if there are only zeros after the 5. So let's look at some examples. So we're going to round the following values to 3 significant figures. So first you're going to count 3 significant figures. So these are all significant, right? So we're going to just go to the first 3. So 1, 2, 3. We're going to cut off the number, and then we're going to look to the next digit. It's a 3, so we're just not going to round up the 4 before that. So this would be rounded to 5.34. All right, this one, these are all significant. So we're going to count 1, 2, 3. Cut it off, look to the next number. It's greater than 5, so we are going to round up the 4. So we'll have 5.35. All right, so this is where, see, it gets a little different. We're not going to just go 1, 2, 3 and cut it off because that would be to decimal places, not sig figs. So we're going to highlight everything that's significant, and then we're going to count from there. So 1, 2, 3. Cut it off, look to the next number. It's lower than 5, so we won't round the 7. So this would be rounded to 0.00287. Same thing here. These are our significant values, so we'll highlight those, and then we'll count 1, 2, 3. Cut it off, look to the next number. It is greater than 5, so we are going to round up the 7 before it. So we'll have this. All right, so now we're going to do 10.64. So those are all significant. So we'll count 1, 2, 3, cut it off, look to the 4. It's less than 5, so we don't have to round the 6. So we have 10.6. And then this one, we cut it off after 1, 2, 3 sig figs, cut it off. Look to the next number. It is greater than 5, so we are just going to round up that 6 to 10.7. All right, so here comes the little nuance rules where we end with an actual 5. So these are all significant. We're going to count 1, 2, 3, cut it off, look to the next number. Now this number is a 5, so we have to look to the next values after it. Since there is something after that 5, we are going to round up. So we're going to do 10.7. Now look at this next one. So these are all significant. We're going to count 1, 2, 3, cut it off. We look to the next value, and it is a 5. So we want to see what's after the 5. In this case, there's only zeros. Well, there's only 1, but there's only zeros after the 5. So we are not going to round up. So we're going to have 10.6. And then the last one we have 10.650001. So those are all significant. We're going to count 1, 2, 3, cut it off, look to the next value. It's a 5, so then we're going to look at what's after. And remember, we don't round if there's only zeros, but in this case there actually is a 1, which makes it just a little greater than 5, which means we are going to round. So those are the rules for rounding sig figs.